Well, hello everyone, welcome back! How are you guys all doing today? Yo, it's Saturday. I am definitely ready for a Saturday. So, what are we doing today? Well, I want to talk about why I'm so mean to my guitars. So, there was a comment that kind of made me think of this, and this is not like calling out a person or anything like that. It's just they were commenting about the fact that I was wearing a jacket with a Les Paul, and this thing has buttons on it with my guitars, and they said it was kind of mean to the guitar, and it really made me kind of think, and I was like, well, you know, I guess I never think about that stuff, and for a couple of reasons, and I was really interested to hear what you guys thought about this topic. I know, for me, for instance, if I buy a guitar, like this guitar, the Les Paul, any of those, I never buy a guitar with the intention of reselling it. If you're a person who likes to flip guitars, that's totally fine. My interest is never in reselling something. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm keeping that guitar forever. And if I do sell it, that's fine. And you know, I'll sell it at a much discounted price because obviously I've been playing it. So I don't really worry too much about keeping a guitar in mint, you know, kind of pristine condition, because when I play, I want my focus to be on playing. So I had a few students who came in for in-person lessons, you know, a little bit past beginner stage, and they had very nice guitars. One guy had like a real nice Les Paul, other thing. And the issue that we ran into is that they were being so careful with their guitars that it was inhibiting their ability to play them. So like we were working on some funk stuff, you know, just doing something real simple, just like what was it? It's probably like this. You know, whatever the. Something like that, and I noticed they were very stiff. You know, they were like, and I was like, oh no, you just gotta like let your wrist relax. And finally, and both students had said this, and they were like, oh well, you know, I don't want to scratch the guitar, you know, and it had a pick guard on it and stuff, but they were worried about just hurting the guitar. And I was like, oh, you kind of can't worry about that when you're playing, because you don't want your attention to be divided. And, you know, if you do have those guitars that you want to keep pristine, everyone is obviously entitled to their own way of playing their guitars. It's your guitar. You do whatever you want with it. But I know for me, I can't have that division. Because I know, I think it was like last NAMM, maybe? The guys at PRS kind of took me into like the back room and handed me one of the private stocks. It was like this $20,000 guitar. And I was just like, I'm very afraid to play this. Same thing happened when I got to play that 56 Les Paul. You know, those are, like, 56 was obviously old and kind of beat up, but it was still a very expensive guitar. So, I'm being very careful, and then you end up playing very stiff, and you don't feel natural. And I just remember I was so thankful that they let me try the PRS, and like, how'd you like it? I'm like, oh yeah, I mean, it felt great, but I'm like, but you know, I can't play it like I normally would. Like, why not? I'm like, oh, well, I'm pretty rough with my guitars at the end of the day. The only time I'm ever, like, super careful is if a company has sent me something that I'm just trying out and going back. If it's something like that, man, I'm ultra careful. No zippers, no buttons, no anything that could damage the guitar, because that guitar is not mine. But when it comes to my guitars, I don't really care too much about what I have on, if I have buttons. Like now, this guitar is relic. It's one of the reasons why I like relic guitars so much, is because kind of already beat up. So it's like, what else can you do to them? You know, I mean, I'm not doing anything crazy with my guitars over here where I'm going to break a headstock or something like that. But I just thought it was kind of interesting. I was like, you know what? Am I mean to my guitars? Or I'm just so focused on playing that I don't worry about the finish of the guitar, because, you know, at the end of the day, what is hurting this back here gonna do to the way the guitar sounds or plays? And I really don't think that affects anything. Same like if I'm playing and I just feel inspired, You know, I've seen people who want to be very cautious with how they're flipping their toggle switches and stuff. And I burn through toggle switches because you know, if I'm just like, oh, hold on. You know, if that's what the moment kind of calls for, you know, you just dig in, and maybe it's just having more of that rock kind of attitude about stuff where I'm just like, I don't know, man. You know, when you get in the zone and you kind of really feel inspired, you just... I'm not trying to be nice to the guitar, you know. So like I said, I'd be kind of curious to see what you guys think about that. Because like I said, to me, my focus is always on the playing. You know, if I grab a guitar, or sometimes I have a jacket on or something in the videos, and that's just to differentiate clips. That way it makes it easier to edit for me, you know, whenever I go and import all these different videos and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, I'd just be really curious to see what you guys think. Do you prefer to be very careful with your guitars? Like I said, if it's your guitar, you can treat it however you want. I just know for me, I like to grab them and just kind of dig in. You know, I'm not too concerned about, you know, if I'm gonna break a string, if I'm gonna put a nick or ding in the guitar or something like that. If anything, that's just, you know, natural relicking over time. And I don't know, you know, everyone's up to their own opinion about that. So I'd be curious to see what you guys have to say down below. But other than that, that's the video for today. Are you mean to your guitars just like me, or do you treat them nice? Let me know. Later, guys. Whoop.